Hello people! It's a good day to fight against hostile paradigm and mental slavery in immigration topic. Probably all of you have been baffled by mainstream conservative, right, centrists, Republicans' stance on immigration, where they play tough guy on illegal immigration but suddenly are total lunatics in what regards legal immigration. So when they address illegal immigrant, they might say something sane and even brave, like, hey, this illegal immigrant is criminal, he crossed borders, illegally broke our laws, illegal immigration is a threat to our country and order. But when they talk about legal immigrant coming from same hellhole while acquiring some papers and permits, then suddenly he is a gift from heaven, valuable asset, super important addition to culture, and everyone doubting it is a Nazi. What does this show is how deep and strong is the hold of neo-Marxist paradigm and fear caused by it, when a healthy and sane view on your people's well-being and future is considered a taboo and is replaced by pseudo-legalist position based purely on the concept of legality of immigration, so basically in a paperwork. But it is just a way to hide your psychological dependency on leftist dogma, a cowardly attempt to slightly postpone the inevitable future, and it is inevitable for anyone heading the road paved by leftist ideas. So then comes this method of hiding your cowardness and inability to think and act outside of the box of leftist dogma, inability to go outside of the axiom of presumed equality of everyone on earth. Illegal is a criminal, so it's easier to criticize him, as current dogma still allows it, even though it clearly moves forward in its intolerance towards this type of critique. But still, it doesn't take much courage today. But God forbid to say that your country has a certain cultural and ethnic face, created by certain religion, certain ethnos and race, and it is important to keep numbers and demographics of these founding ethnos. Now, this would take some courage, and what is more importantly, it would mean that a person is actually operating in a separate paradigm. Paperwork is not a paradigm. Having or not having proper papers might mean something only in those conditions where documents are somehow bound with strong ideological stance in politics. But in real world we see something else. A white Boer from South Africa might be illegal because he fails to get proper papers, while African or Arab might be legal. This doesn't change the fact that 1,000 illegal Boers are better asset to the country than any amount of legal Arabs. Because it's beyond concept of legality to break down all those details about cultural and religious compatibility, about chances of becoming criminal or terrorist, or the overall risks to the local founding ethnos and its political and cultural hold over its own country. It is obvious that illegal Boer immigrant would be a significantly lesser threat to a political future of any European people or European descendants as Americans or Australians compared to legal immigrant from non-compatible cultures. Legality is not an absolute value. It might be an expression of something good or might be expression of something vile and evil. There is no way to tell without inspecting it further. Therefore, stopping on legality issue and never digging deeper is just a sign of shallow understanding of the problem. And it goes with everything else as well: abortion, weed, immigration, guns, homeschooling, etc. Whatever they proclaim legal or illegal in different times. Today they are erasing your history and culture. Tomorrow they will declare illegal to mention facts of your history. So what? Will it make it somehow different? So no, immigration is not per se bound with legality. It might be with perfect conditions when patriotic people have full control over borders, over legislation, but usually it's not the case. Therefore, you simply must think deeper to find the roots of an issue instead of working with tools of bureaucratic system like paperwork and passports. This is one of the reasons I was very skeptical about some American conservatives who were raising concept of legality to a pedestal while trying to win arguments with leftists on illegal immigration issue. It is a dead end and a very poor choice of argument. It's almost as bad as Soviet dissident in, let's say, 1947 trying to prove something while operating with Soviet laws. Not only those laws are not under your control, not only they are subject of change, not only they don't represent the essence of your concerns. By appealing to temporary laws, documents and legality, you are creating a picture of a weak and shallow system on your side. Nobody would voluntarily limit himself with laws while trying to win a cultural and ideological war. It is a clash between paradigms, not a clash between papers of different types, not a clash of stamps or cards or passports of different colors. You start winning by establishing, or rather refining, independent and impenetrable system of your own values and goals, your own justice, your own morals, your own understanding of what is acceptable and what is not. If instead you stay on enemy's field, where he defines what is acceptable and moral, and you just try to cling to man-made laws and papers which don't have absolute power and value, in this case you will lose. The idea of equality in immigration issue is a trap. It's an inevitable win scenario for those who control equality paradigm. This is why they are so successful in shifting Overton window and demanding more and more for illegal immigrants. Because concept of legality is not an independent paradigm. Therefore, it is shifting together with ideological advances. So the idea, if you come legally then welcome in any case, is nonsense. It doesn't express interests of founding ethnos. It is shallow, it is situational, it's short-sighted, and it doesn't create a good foundation for further battles. Same goes for ideas like, you are welcome if you promise to respect constitutions and freedoms. Again, conservatives rooting for these nonsense are naive at best, or stupid, or destructive. In order to make someone respect your culture, you have to be in absolutely dominant position. Only then, when you have like 95-99% of your native population in your country, you might set some conditions and rules for those few percent of occasional immigrants. However, when you live in a country when you can hardly keep presidents and parties from committing treason, when you have hostile universities, when your churches are infiltrated, when your culture is under constant attacks, and finally you have zones where you will be beaten just because you are white, well, in this case you cannot have not a slightest hope of making millions of immigrants assimilate into your weak and attacked culture. Therefore, when I see so-called conservatives who struggle with existing immigrant population but claim to have nothing against further influx of legal immigrants, I can only assume they are either out of their mind or they are so afraid that it's better to pose as idiots rather than to stand for sanity in immigration issue. Anyway, that is for now. Although I guess we could bash this type of deficiencies in current mainstream politics for hours. Leave your opinion on immigration in comment section, subscribe to channel to keep up with updates, spread the word, share videos on social networks, and have a nice day.